Hello and welcome to the talk. I'm Philip. This talk is about an almost two-factor approximation algorithm for split vertex deletion and its joint work with Daniel Lokshanov, Pranabendra Misra, Fahad Panolan and Saket Sora. Let's start with the definitions. All our graphs are undirected. A click in a graph G is any subset of its vertices such that there is an edge in the graph between any two of these vertices. An independent set in the graph is any subset of vertices such that between any two of these vertices there is no edge in the graph. A split partition of a graph G is a partition of the vertex set of G into a clique and an independent set. So these are denoted C and I, and the split partition is denoted C, I. Not all graphs have split partitions. A split graph is exactly a graph which has a split partition C, I. Here is an example. This is the graph. C denotes the clique in the graph and I denotes the independent set. So this is a split graph. We slightly abuse the notation a bit to use clique to also denote a complete graph or a complete subgraph, not just the vertex set. Similarly, we use independent set to denote also a graph or a subgraph with no edges. Some extreme examples of split graphs are cliques and independent sets. A split vertex deletion set of a graph G is any subset of its vertices such that if we delete the set S from the graph, what is left over is a split graph. So we use the notation G minus S to denote the graph obtained by deleting the set S from the graph G. A simple observation is that any graph G with at least two vertices has a split vertex deletion set. In particular, recall that a vertex cover of a graph G is any subset of vertices of the graph such that if you delete this subset from the graph, what is left is an independent set. So if a graph G has a vertex cover S such that after removing the vertex cover, there are at least two vertices left, then this vertex cover S is a split vertex deletion set of G. The split vertex deletion problem asks for a smallest split vertex deletion set of a graph. More precisely, the input to this problem is a graph G with vertex weights, integer weights W, and the task is to find a split vertex deletion set of the graph of the smallest total weight. In the unweighted version, all the weights are 1 and the goal is to find a split vertex deletion set of the smallest size. This problem is known to be NP-complete from the meta theorem of Lewis and Yanakakis, essentially because if you delete any vertex from a split graph, what remains is also a split graph. There is a folklore 5-factor approximation algorithm for the problem in polynomial time. This works because it is known that a graph G is a split graph if and only if it excludes three particular graphs as induced subgraphs. Since the number of vertices in the largest such graph is 5, one can apply the local ratio technique to get a 5-factor approximation algorithm even for the weighted version in polynomial time. Let's go through an overview of our results for split vertex deletion. The first result is a lower bound on polynomial time approximation. We show that for any epsilon which is positive, there is no polynomial time 2 minus epsilon factor approximation algorithm for the problem, assuming the unique games conjecture, and this holds even for the unweighted version. The next result is a matching quasi-polynomial time approximation algorithm for the problem. The approximation factor of this algorithm is 2. This works for the weighted version and its running time is n to the order log n. A third result is a polynomial time approximation algorithm for the problem whose approximation factor is 2 plus epsilon for any fixed positive epsilon. It works for the weighted version. It's a randomized algorithm and its running time is of the form n to the f of epsilon. Before seeing our results, let's review some known results for vertex cover. The weighted vertex cover problem has as input a graph G with integer vertex weights, and it asks for a vertex cover S of the graph of the smallest weight. And the unweighted vertex cover problem has as input a graph G, and it asks for a vertex cover S of G of the smallest size. Both these problems are NP-hard. Both problems can be approximated to a factor of 2 in polynomial time, and neither can be approximated to a factor of 2 minus epsilon for any epsilon greater than 0 in polynomial time, assuming the unique games conjecture. So let's see our results one by one. First, the lower bound on polynomial time approximation. This is by a direct reduction from vertex cover. So given a vertex cover instance G, we construct an instance of split vertex deletion by taking the instance of vertex cover and adding a large clique as a disjoint subgraph to this graph. So we take the graph G, which was given as input to the vertex cover instance, construct a clique of size 4 times the number of vertices of G, and take the union of these two graphs. The weight of every vertex we set to be 1. It is not difficult to verify that any vertex cover of the original graph G is a split vertex deletion set of G prime, and any inclusion minimal split vertex deletion set of G prime is a vertex cover of G. In particular, if we manage to find a 2 minus epsilon approximate split vertex deletion set of G prime, then we can retrieve a 2 minus epsilon approximate vertex cover of G from this. So then we get the lemma that split vertex deletion has no polynomial time 2 minus epsilon factor approximation algorithm for any positive epsilon, even in the unweighted case, assuming the unique games conjecture. Now let's look at how we get the two-factor approximation algorithm which runs in quasi-polynomial time. We start with a simple observation. Recall first that the complement of a graph G, denoted G bar, is the graph obtained from G by making every edge in G a non-edge and every non-edge in G an edge. We use the notation G of X to denote the subgraph of G induced by the set X. So let's take a look at this observation. Let G be a graph and let X be any subset of the vertex set of G. Let S1 be a vertex cover of the complement of G of X, and let S2 be a vertex cover of G minus X. Now X here is the dotted part. S1 is a vertex cover of the complement of G of X. Therefore the green part is an independent set in the complement of G, which means the green part is a clique in G. S2 is a vertex cover of G minus X, which means the red part is an independent set in G. That is, the green part is a clique in G and the red part is an independent set in G. This implies that the union S1 and union S2 is a split vertex deletion set of the graph G. So that was one observation. Now we look at a slightly less trivial observation. Again consider graph G. Now let S star be an unknown optimum split vertex deletion set of G, and let C star and I star be the split partition of G minus S star. Now consider a set X star which contains all the vertices of the clique C star and none of the vertices of the independent set I star. Let G1 be the graph obtained by taking the complement of the graph induced by X star, and let G2 be G minus X star. Then S star intersection X star, this is the part which is checkered and has no color. This is a vertex cover of G1, and S star minus X star, this is the part with no colors and no markings. This is a vertex cover of G2. That is, the optimum split vertex deletion set S star happens to be a union of vertex covers of the graph G1 and G2 defined by the set X star. The optimum SVDS is a union of vertex covers of G1 and G2. We have already seen that for any vertex cover S1 of G1 and any vertex cover S2 of G2, S1 union S2 is a split vertex deletion set of G. This implies that if S1 star is an optimum vertex cover of the graph G1 and S2 star is an optimum vertex cover of the graph G2, then S1 star union S2 star is an optimum split vertex deletion set of the graph G. As a corollary, we get that if S1 is a 2 approximate vertex cover of G1 and S2 is a 2 approximate vertex cover of G2, then their union is a 2 approximate split vertex deletion set of G. Note that the graphs G1 and G2 are completely determined by the set X star, and the only properties of X star which we needed for all of this to work is that the unknown optimum clique C star is contained in X star and the unknown independent set I star is totally outside of X star. So here is a two-factor approximation algorithm for split vertex deletion. Find a set X star which contains the unknown C star and excludes the unknown I star. Construct the two graphs G1 and G2 from X star. Find two approximate vertex covers for G1 and G2 and take their union. Now the second step, given X star, we can do the second step in polynomial time. But how do we find a set X star which separates the unknown clique C star from the unknown independent set I star? For this we use the so-called clique independent set separating collections. So a clique independent set separating collection of a graph G is a family C of vertex subsets of G such that if C is a clique in G and I is an independent set in G and they don't intersect, then there is at least one subset X in this collection that such that the clique C is contained in X and the independent set I is totally outside of X. Sigan and Pilipchuk showed in 2013 that any n-vertex graph G has a clique independent set separating collection of size n to the order log n, and one can enumerate such a collection in time which is linear in the size of the collection. So now we have the algorithm for our problem. We enumerate a clique independent set separating collection of size n to the order log n. For each set X in this collection, we find the two approximate vertex covers which we described above, and we take the union of these two approximate vertex covers. This is a split vertex deletion set of the graph G. We output that split vertex deletion set of the least weight which was found in step 2 over all sets X in the collection C. So this gives us a two-factor approximate solution for split vertex deletion and runs in n to the order log n time. So summarizing our results so far, we showed that split vertex deletion has no polynomial time 2 minus epsilon factor approximation algorithm under the unique James conjecture, even in the unweighted case. And we showed that the problem does have a two-factor approximation algorithm which runs in quasi-polynomial time. So what next? Ideally, we should come up with a polynomial time two-factor approximation algorithm for the problem. But what we do have is a polynomial time 2 plus epsilon factor approximation algorithm for any fixed positive epsilon. Here is an overview of the algorithm. This is an improvement over the n to the order log n time algorithm. So there we enumerated all these clique independent set separating sets and then search through them for the best choice. Here we do a smart kind of search instead of doing a linear search. So instead of enumerating all these elements of this huge set and trying each one out, we do a smarter search to home in on one good separating set X and then find the two approximate vertex covers and return their union. So we start with every vertex in the graph being undecided. We do a two-way branching, and in each branch we correctly guess a constant fraction by weight of undecided vertices as belonging to the separating set X or not belonging to the set X. And we stop the branching when no vertex is left undecided. At this point we would have found our good separating set X, and then we can do the rest of it. So the guesses are made in polynomial time, and the depth of the branching tree is order log n. So in polynomial time, we find the set x that we want, and we can use it to compute the solution. So let's take a closer look at this smarter search. We start with all vertices being undecided and do a two-way branching. What we actually do is not a correct guess of a constant fraction of the undecided vertices and putting them in x or not. Our guess is correct only with a constant probability which is less than 1, and the algorithm is randomized. Now we also don't stop the branching only when every vertex has been decided. It turns out that we have to stop earlier in some cases when the remaining undecided set is too light. It doesn't contain enough heavy vertices. So this we have to do for the other branching to have a constant probability of success. And once we stop the branching in this way, we find an approximate solution as before by computing the union of two vertex covers. But it turns out that we can only guarantee a 2 plus epsilon factor approximation in this case. So here is where we get the plus epsilon in the approximation factor. We work with an annotated version of the input. So this is because we want to capture intermediate states of the instance. So some vertices are in the separating set X, some other vertices are not, and the rest are undecided. So we need to capture this, and for this we annotate the instance. So here is the definition of the annotated split vertex deletion problem. The input is a graph G with integer weights on the vertices, and we are given a partition of the vertex set into C, I and U. The goal is to find a split vertex deletion set of the least weight of the graph such that G minus S star has a split partition C star I star, where the clique C star is contained entirely in C union U, and the independent set I star is contained in I union U. That is, no vertex in the set I should go to the final clique C star, no vertex in the set C should go to the final independent set I star, and vertices which are currently in the undecided set can go anywhere. Now, how does the branching work? At the very beginning, all the vertices are undecided, and when we do the branching, the sets C and I become larger and larger. We find and move heavy subsets of vertices from the set U to either C or I in each branch. And at the leaves of the recursion tree, there are two different stopping conditions. The first condition happens when we run out of the undecided vertices. So this is a good case. In this case, we have actually found the correct separating set or a correct separating set X. C, the set C is the separating set. And then as before, we know that if this happens, if the undecided set becomes empty, then we can find a two approximate solution to the problem, and this solution is the union of two approximate vertex covers defined by the set C. This we have seen before. The second stopping condition is slightly more involved. So let opt be an unknown optimum solution to the annotated instance, and let C star I star be a split partition of G minus opt. C star U we define to be those undecided vertices which finally end up in the clique C star, and I star U are those vertices which are currently undecided and which in the end up in the independent set I star. We show that if either of these two sets, C star and I star, C star U and I star U, if either of them is light, that is, if the weight of either of them is much smaller compared to the weight of the optimum, then we can in polynomial time find a 2 plus epsilon factor approximate solution to the annotated instance. So if the weights of these if the weights of at least one of these two sets become too small, then we stop, compute a 2 plus epsilon factor approximate solution in polynomial time and return that. Yeah. But in practice, there's a problem. We can do neither of these these comparisons in the lemma because we don't know any of these three sets. So what we actually do is that we at each step, at each branch, we compute the two approximate solutions, assuming that the respective conditions hold. We keep track of the lightest approximate solution computed in this manner throughout the algorithm. Okay, so now let's look at the branching steps. So in the branches, we find a constant fraction by weight of the vertices in C star U and move this to the set C and recurse. That's one branch. In the other branch, we find a constant fraction by weight of the vertices in I star U, move these to the set I and recurse. But we don't know either C star U or I star U. So how do we do this? What we do is we find proxies for each of these sets. So these proxies are sets C prime, I prime such that we can, in polynomial time and with constant probability, randomly sample a vertex from C prime and I prime. And if we randomly pick a vertex from C prime, then with constant probability, we know that it belongs to the unknown set C star U. Similarly, if we randomly pick a vertex from I prime, then we know that with a constant probability, it belongs to the set I star U. Now, if we find a vertex V in I star U, note that we can move all its neighbors to set C. This is because since vertex V belongs to the final independent set I star U, where I star U is subset of this independent set, we know that every neighbor of this vertex V must be either in the final clique or must be deleted as part of opt. So, which means we can move all neighbors of the vertex V to the set C. Similarly, if we find a vertex W in C star U, then we can move all its non-neighbors to the set I. Now here is how the branches work. In one branch, we sample a vertex V from I star U with constant probability of success, and we want a vertex V which belongs to I star U such that the neighborhood of V is heavy. We want the neighborhood of V to contain a constant fraction by weight of C star U. If we get such a vertex, we call such a vertex a good vertex which belongs to I star U. If we get such a vertex V which is good, we move the vertex V to the set I, and more importantly, we move all its neighbors to the set C. The other branch is symmetric. We sample a vertex W from C star U with constant probability of success. We want this vertex W to be such that its non-neighborhood contains a constant fraction of by weight of the vertices of I star U. So such a vertex we call a good vertex of C star U. If you find a good vertex W of C star U, we move W to C and all its neighbors to I. Okay, so now how do we go about finding these good vertices? We show that good vertices are not rare. In particular, we show that either of at least one of the following two things holds. Either a fourth of the vertices of I star U are good, or 1/4 by weight of the vertices of C star U are good. So what this means is that sampling proportional to weight, proportionality at random from at least one of I star U and C star U will get us a good vertex with probability 1/4. Now we don't know which one of the conditions in this lemma holds, so we toss a coin. See, we toss a coin, and depending on heads or tails, we'll either go and look for a good vertex in I star U or in C star U. So this reduces the success probability by a factor of half. Okay, so how do we find a good vertex for I star U? What is this proxy set I prime for I star U? So we want a proxy set for I star U such that if we sample proportionally at random from this set I prime, we should get a good vertex of I star U with a good probability. So what we need is that this set I star U must be contained in I prime, and that the weight of I prime is not too large compared to the weight of I star U. If these conditions are met, then if we sample at random from I prime, then we'll get a good vertex. So how do we find this I prime? Well, we go and look at the set of undecided vertices. We compute a 5 approximate split vertex deletion set for the graph induced by these undecided vertices. Call this set X. Now let Cx and Ix be a split partition of G of U minus X. We show that given X, Cx and Ix, we can, in polynomial time and with constant probability, sample a vertex from the proxy set I prime of I star u. So as a corollary, we get that in polynomial time and with constant probability, we can find a good vertex from the set I star u. So here is the algorithm for annotated split vertex deletion. If the undecided set is empty, then we compute and return a two-factor approximation. If the undecided set is too light, then we compute and return a 2 plus epsilon factor approximation. If none of this happens, then we toss a fair coin. If the coin turns up heads, then we sample a vertex V from the undecided set, which is a good vertex from I star u. We move V to I and all neighbors of V to C, and then we recurse. If the coin turns up tails, we sample a vertex W from U, which is a good vertex from C star U. We move W to C and all its non-neighbors to the set I, and then we recurse. So this is the algorithm. Putting it all together, what we get is that there is a randomized algorithm which, given a graph G, a weight function W, and a fixed epsilon greater than 0, runs in time order n to the f of epsilon, and outputs a subset S of the vertex set of G such that G minus S is a split graph, and the weight of S is 2 times 1 plus epsilon, the weight of opt at most. And this happens with probably at least half. Here opt is a minimum weight split vertex deletion set of G. Let's look at some open problems before concluding. So an immediate open problem is to actually get at a polynomial time 2 approximation for split vertex deletion. Now our algorithm can be improved in many ways. Firstly, we can try to make it deterministic, and secondly, we can make the running time a little less bad. The current degree of the running time is a function of 1 by epsilon. It will be nice to have an algorithm which runs in a time which is a constant degree polynomial of n. A different problem is to find a 2 approximation algorithm for a related or similar problem called cluster vertex deletion. For this, currently we know a 2.25 approximation due to Fiorini et al. It will be interesting to see if we can get a 2 approximation for this problem using methods similar to ours. Thank you for listening.